Another great clip brought to you by Sage Chiropractic.
We've seen what happened to Mr. Macri, and then he put uh, a superstar in his car that we would think, Casey Kane, and he goes out and wins in the car. And I made a joke about it. I said, well, Casey needs to see what they're doing with that car and do that to his car. But the kid that drives his car does pretty good. Now, when Macri got hurt, and you've been involved in racing for a long time, a lot of people are saying when he came down is how he got hurt. It wasn't necessarily the tumble that caused the injury. It was the stoppage of the car, correct or no?
Yeah, that's correct. That's how most of our injuries. I've been hurt twice from that same type of injury, from compression of the spinal cord. Once was my lower back, and then in 2010 or 2011, I shattered my neck. Never flipped. So it's all spinal cord compression. That's the biggest issue we fight in sprint cars. There's really most of the safety stuff we have really don't prevent any of that. There's some stuff some of us do with our seats now to help, but it's still the major problem we have in sprint car racing. And a lot of it's just because how we sit.
Now, I know a couple guys have them shock absorbers under the seat, and it gives the seat a chance to move a little bit. But like you said, that nobody has come up with something that's going to take, when you have a sudden stop, that's going to take that impact out of your back, right?
Yeah, I couldn't half hear you, but the sudden stops, we just compress the spinal cord, and how we sit so upright that, like, when I shattered my neck, basically the surgeon told me, just picture you were sitting perfectly straight up and down in a chair, and somebody drilled you as hard as they can straight on top of your head, just compress your spinal cord. And when we're pulled in and strapped in, we're compressing our butt cheeks, which absorbs impacts like that, but we're compressing them as we strap in and tighten ourselves down. So, like, the harder you tighten yourself down, kind of the worse it is for you as far as on that stuff, because you're just compressing everything in your body and there's no give. But I'm a little bit of the old school. I don't draw myself real tight. I never did. But some of these guys, young guys, man, they really pull themselves really tight. And I don't know if that's good or bad, you know what I mean? But after Anthony's wreck, I'm pretty good with that team, and there's a lot of stuff went on after that to look at and try to see if we could prevent it. Or they had some people look at their cars, and at the end of the day, there's nothing that nobody's looked at and said, well, that's wrong.
This clip was brought to you by Sage Chiropractic.